Afterwards, we have Ruth Sarnoff, who's held items 3D and 1H. Yes, ma'am.
Sophia Quinones, and I rise against this motion because it enables the genocide and torture of the mentally ill. This motion demonstrates how the County of Los Angeles sanctions and enables the Jim Crow municipal codes that were passed by the city of Los Angeles, which violates the Convention Against Torture and other cruel and inhumane, degrading treatment or punishment. It also sanctions and enables the unethical experimentation that violates the medical ethics as the Nuremberg Codes and the Declaration of Helsinki. This is a culture of human degradation when you continue to hold mental patients and detain them indefinitely. This is torture. They should not be held in jail. They should be held in mental facilities. But because we have a culture that puts people who are mentally ill in jail, this is something that is just mind-boggling. And I had to rise to say, we don't need to treat people in prison because they're mentally ill. We need them out of prison. I've spoken in the past that the municipal codes that were passed by the city of Los Angeles violates their human rights, their dignity. And we as a culture, we come here and we say, oh, look what happened in Florida today. You know what? Look what's happening in Skid Row. In our own backyard, we are putting people away that should not be in prison. They should be in mental facilities. And, you know, I'm totally upset with this board, and I think you all should be tried, you know, in The Hague for torture, because you're enabling a culture of torture. That's unacceptable. They need to be put in facilities outside of the jail. And I don't know why you guys keep getting it wrong, but this has to stop, and I just had to stand up and rise against this motion. Thank you for your time.
Next speaker, please refrain from clapping. You can raise the roof. That's the protocol. Thank you. Next speaker.
Ruth Sarnoff. I'm trying to understand the relationship between R1 and 19. I am prepared to speak a bit on the issues raised in 19. It seems to me that we need to find a way to cluster poverty issues together when there's this kind of issues coming up, so that the public can better understand, hey, we're talking about poverty, and we're talking about solutions for smaller development for businesses.
Ruth, you pulled items 3D and 1H, so that's what we're on. That's what you pulled.
I never pulled 3D. I pulled R1 and H1, or I meant to.
We'll call you up on P1 when that comes up after we're concluded with all this. Okay?
What is it again? What is it?
You pulled up 3D and 1H. So you can speak to those items, and then P1, you can come up afterwards because that was an item that was held, and there'll be people speaking on that. Okay?
I'm confused right now, so
okay.
Can I just speak later?
Sure, no problem. That's what I had noted. Okay.
Madam Chair, the following items are before you. Item 1D, 2D, 3D, 1H, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 11, 12, 13, 23, 25, 26, 28, 29, 31, 33, 38, 39, 40, 41, 50, 52, 54, 57, 65, 66, 70. And on item 44, the Department of Mental Health asks that this be continued 1 week to June 21st, 2016, instead of 2 weeks.
Those items are before us. Those items are moved by Supervisor Kill, seconded without objection. Thank you. Such will be the order. Members, now we're going to take up items P1 and 19, financial empowerment, and we'll begin with Supervisor Kill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is innovative, and I'm very proud to bring this together with yourself before the board today. I think many people may be aware of the statistics that go into it that made us think of it, but we've been talking over the year about how the county provides a safety net, and more safety net. Like we're standing under a bridge waiting for people to fall off. And we started having a discussion about maybe we could help people not fall off the bridge. That's really where this next step has come from. 15% of all of our 10 million people live below the poverty level, which is $24,000 of earnings a year, gross earnings, for a family of 4. But 50% of all the people in the county are liquid asset poor, financially vulnerable. That means they lack enough savings to live above the poverty level for even as much as 3 months, should they happen to lose their job. Many with low-wage jobs are unable to meet their basic living needs like food and housing and childcare, let alone set aside any money for emergencies or save for a business or education or a home. And Los Angeles is the United States' 3rd least banked region. That means 28% of the people in the county don't use a bank, no checking account, no savings account, or they're underbanked. They have an account, but they use alternative and usurious financial services like check cashing stores or payday lenders. And 75% of all the check cashing stores, not surprisingly, are in low-income or moderate-income neighborhoods. This means that our residents in the county pay about $142 million a year in check cashing fees or loan fees. In addition, there's a lot they don't know about what they could get, like the Earned Income Tax Credit, don't know to claim it. And there was an estimate that $370 million in Earned Income Tax Credits were left on the table just by the residents of our county. There are other cities that have established this kind of service. San Francisco indicates that they've helped more than 75,000 unbanked San Franciscans. In San Francisco, more than 22,000 people started saving for college. So this Center for Financial Empowerment, which will be housed within the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, will coordinate a number of programs we already have, but that are quite sort of fractured and not related to each other across the county, as well as serve as a collaborating hub for a network of nonprofits. Several people are going to tell us what this will do, and I want to say that I'm very, very grateful to those who have put it together inside the county, on my staff, and outside the county. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I also want to commend your work and your staff and all the folks that have put forward their efforts to begin this discussion on financial empowerment, something so extremely important for the entire county. And I especially want to thank Brian Steiger for being a big part of this and showing his leadership once again. Sometimes we think about things we want to do, but you help to make them happen. And we're so happy to know that the County of Los Angeles is moving in a direction where we're actually not just internalizing these dreams, but we're making them happen, and you're helping us to implement them. So I'm just proud to be a part of this. I know how important this is for the individuals that I represent in my district. They are heavily dependent, unfortunately, on many of these cash checking institutions that charge them outrageous interest rates, and individuals then become beholden to those types of schemes that actually take away the purchasing power that they could otherwise have and share with their families. Just last week I met with a group of merchants in Whittier Boulevard in East LA, and many are struggling. They're not making the kinds of profits that you think most businesses should be making. It's hard. They, in many ways, don't know where to go for other support for lending. In fact, many of them I know would qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit, and many are not aware of it. So our job, as I see it, is to help empower them, give them information, but not just to my district, to the whole county. And especially, I'm very pleased that this initiative is focusing in on young people, because young people have to learn, especially in our high schools and even junior highs, the importance of savings, establishing a checking account, and learning what the power of that dollar is to put away for a rainy day or for important essentials. I do want to say that I know we have many of our county departments that are working on this. I understand there are 14 departments together that offer 46 unique financial literacy related programs. That's a whole lot, but I'm not quite sure everyone really gets it. So if we could weave that together through your help, I'm sure it's going to help empower us all. Again, I just want to say it's a pleasure and honor to be a part of this effort today, because the county is really pushing out, I think, what is most important, and that's empowering our constituents. So thank you very much. We have a number of speakers. Yes, Supervisor Thomas.
Simply a shout out to Supervisor Sheila Q for her leadership and authorship of Chair. A couple of questions will suffice. First is Center for Financial Empowerment investigates financial empowerment service options such as state-of-the-art banking systems used places and lending circles such as San Francisco, for example, not maybe worth exploration. Think about financial empowerment, be locked in old school when you take full advantage of innovation and technology. I think communities across the length of the county will step up and do fascinating things. So may I ask that question, at the same time suggest that it be explored, not things too. Second question is, will the center investigate options available to low-income families to pay for college education? Is there a role county to play in helping families save for cost of college? In other words, financial empowerment, financial literacy ought to be that which moves people along the income continuum. All the data make it very clear that college education facilitates higher incomes in terms of earning power and capacity. So I'd like to just put those two additional features in play as questions as you continue the work that is before us. Those questions be best proper time and framework. Again, high praise to the maker of the motion and to those who are supportive. Count on us to be helpful in terms of the work that both council and Department Minister are pursuing.
Okay, if there are no further questions from the board members, we'll hear from the department.
Thank you, Madam Chair, honorable members of the board. Ryan Steger, Director for the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. On March 15th, the board passed a motion to study the feasibility of establishing a Center for Financial Empowerment within the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs to help lift people out of poverty and improve financial capability. The role of the Center for Financial Empowerment is to align and coordinate financial empowerment programs delivered by county departments and community-based organizations to improve the economic lives of low-income individuals and families. In response to the motion, we formed a number of work teams comprised of representatives from county departments to inventory and assess the county's financial empowerment programs, develop a strategic plan, and discuss ways to leverage our efforts to effectively serve county residents. We surveyed all county departments and found that 14 departments provide over 46 different financial empowerment programs. We learned that overall, these programs are of high quality and our departments are working closely together to deliver these services. But we also learned that if we coordinated these programs, we could leverage our resources to improve service delivery for greater impact. We also gathered a select group of recognized experts and thought leaders from outside the county structure who have been engaged in this work for many years. The advisors helped us survey our external partners to get a sense of the kinds of services they are offering. They helped us think through how the county could take a leadership role in aligning and coordinating these services throughout the region. And they helped us identify the two populations we will track during a 2-year pilot project: youth between the ages of 14 and 24, and those individuals and families eligible to receive the federal Earned Income Tax Credit. During the pilot, we will create a financial empowerment services directory and website to connect people with services. We will weave financial capability into the county's social services programs, and we will promote safe and reliable financial products and services. For our youth, we will work to expand the Life Smarts program at high schools. Life Smarts is a year-long training directed towards high school-aged youth to teach financial literacy. We will educate youth about no-cost and low-cost financial products and programs, and we will provide access to resources to help students complete their post-secondary education. For individuals and families eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, we will work to increase the number of county employees trained to provide free tax services. The county will host a free tax preparation event during tax season. We will use that event to connect clients to financial counseling opportunities and to safe banking products. We will also host a convening of government and community organizations in the next 60 days to explain our role, get ideas on how we can provide the most help, share best practices, and begin planning for the next tax season. We will also be working with a consultant to develop a comprehensive set of metrics to measure our progress, refine our service offerings, and conduct a more thorough analysis of the financial empowerment services offered throughout the county. This pilot will be funded entirely through our existing budget and a grant from the private sector. I just want to add that the Center for Financial Empowerment brings together all of the programs that we currently work at the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. It brings together our Consumer Protection Program, it brings together our foreclosure prevention program, and it brings together our efforts to support small businesses to create jobs. And I'm happy to answer any questions that the members may have here.
Supervisor Kanavi?
Now, you say this program will be funded within your budget, but that budget that you're referring to for this program is a trust fund of some sort, is that correct?
That is correct, Supervisor. This is our Cypre Trust Fund that we have about $3.2 million left to spend on new and enhanced consumer programs.
Can you explain the source of this fund?
So this is the result of a lawsuit that was established back in 2005, and it was the plaintiff was Graybill against Renta Center, and we were awarded about $5 million in surplus money from that lawsuit.
So you spent about 1.8 thus far. Obviously, this is a pretty expensive program as well, too. So what happens, one, if we don't get another grant, and two, at some point that trust fund is not to be replenished. Am I correct?
That is correct.
The one time. So it's really not within your budget. It's a trust fund that you're going to be using to fund a potentially one-time program.
That is correct, Supervisor. Sorry, I misspoke. So this is going to be a 2-year pilot, and so we have help during the first year. We have the money in the trust fund to fund the second year. At that time, we'll be coming back to the board, hopefully with some really good news, so that we can establish permanent funding going forward.
Thank you.
But I guess what I would say is that we have, as you know, other departments that are providing this kind of assistance. If we can do a better job in assessing how that can be better coordinated, we can actually save money and be more targeted, in my belief, and actually save the county money. But in addition, I would hope that one of our efforts would be to seek outside philanthropic, private funding, corporate funding from banks, from institutions that want to be associated with this kind of consumer effort to educate the public. I could see that occurring as we go through this 2-year project.
I agree with that, but I think you pointed out if that doesn't come through, we can always go to budget uncertainties. Isn't that our favorite one?
Yes, supervisors, I think at this point, as the next fiscal year comes around, we will certainly take a look at that. But I agree with the chair that between now and next year, Brian will be working very closely with the industry to see if he can get additional grants.
I just want to say that, Brian, you've done so much already to demonstrate cooperation with other state agencies, and obviously the state has a big role in the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Board of EOE and all that. But I think that this kind of lends itself, as Supervisor Kuehl said, a whole new innovative way of working with our partners out there, because we're actually looking at the same pool of people, the population we want to address, and what we're doing is now standing up and saying, we are partnering with you, and how can we collaborate? I think that's a good message of cooperation with the state and the federal government. So that would be another attempt to try to get more involvement on their part as well.
And one of our partners on the speakers list is already investing in this pilot program, so I think it shows great promise.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, with that, we have several presenters. We have Mr. James Alba, Solano Rice, Amanda Bird, Sarah Brennan, Isaias Hernandez.
Good morning. I am Solana Rice, Associate Director for State and Local Policy with the Corporation for Enterprise Development, also known as CFED. Today we are honored to express our enthusiastic support for the Los Angeles County Center for Financial Empowerment. As a national nonprofit, CFED has 36 years of developing and advocating for local, state, and federal programs and policy solutions that make it possible for millions of people to achieve financial security and contribute to an opportunity economy. I want to thank Supervisor Kuhl and Chair Solis for your leadership on this issue. Establishing this center sends an important message to California and to the nation about the urgency and pervasiveness of financial instability. As Supervisor Kuhl mentioned, 49% of residents in Los Angeles County are without the 3 months of savings needed to withstand a loss of income without falling into poverty. Internal coordination across agencies, or what we term financial capability integration, is a promising first step in helping families. Social service providers across the country are demonstrating this by embedding services like helping families access financial information, connecting families to safe, affordable financial products and services, building savings and wealth, and protecting consumers from predatory products. We can boost programmatic outcomes like workforce development, placement, retention, health, and educational outcomes. This center also positions Los Angeles County to share the insights and experiences of thousands of residents and service providers and inform policies and programs under development across the state. CFED is pleased to support your efforts, and this is a tremendous day. Congratulations.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is James Alba. I'm the Southern California Market Manager, Senior Vice President for Citibank's Community Development Program. What that means is that I have the great privilege of managing Citibank's private investments throughout Southern California, and we are proud to be here today as the sole private